Just a phenomenal address. Back in the time, you got to go back to '84. Think where we were back then, and eventually, Walter Mondale was nominated. He had the overwhelming majority of the delegates. Hart had dropped out, but Jesse Jackson won. He was a major contender, and he won. He won states and he won delegates, and he asked for their vote in the first ballot. But what an amazing speech, and what an amazing time for him and for African Americans to have a candidate of that stature. He ran a really, really good campaign. And if you listen to the words of his speech, I mean, there was nothing like you get today. I mean, it was just nothing. It was like they wanted reconciliation. They wanted, they believed in tradition. They believed in God. I mean, Jesse Jackson believed in a lot of the things that we believe in today. But this was a different time. This was, 84, 16 plus 25. What was that? 16 and 25 is 41 years ago. It's almost a half a century ago. And how times have changed, and how the Democratic Party has just changed into just crackpotterism and illegals and legal voting and stealing elections and just all the nonsense that goes on, and just the hate and the child mutilization and the transgenders and all this nonsense. You really can't have a debate. At the eight o'clock hour, I just called up my friend Joe Rubin, who I'm trying to do a point counterpoint column with, and I'm like, somebody asked me to do this, and he's like, "Hey, can you find a traditional liberal?" I'm like, "No." Then I thought, yeah, Joe Rubin. I mean, I hearkened back to the days, folks, of where you had traditional liberals that you could actually have a conversation with. I mean, if you go back to '76 and you look at who ran in the Democratic primary, you had Jimmy Carter, Fred Harris from Oklahoma, Birch Bayh, who was the favorite going in from Indiana. Humphrey was still around, Hubert H. Humphrey. You had Ed Muskie was still around. You had Scoop Jackson ran for president. You had George Wallace ran from Alabama. I mean, you had Mo Udall. It was just a different time. And now forget about it. I mean, it's so polarized. We'll never put this back together. You look at what happened in Minneapolis, and you're just never going to put this country back together ever. It's just win or loser. That's it. That's why I want to win. That's why I'm against them doing the filibuster. I mean, they all want to go back to where they have a drink in the cloakroom and do kumbaya or something. Those times are gone. They're gone. They're gone everywhere. Like I'm walking from getting a signature yesterday, and I go by a bus stop at McPherson, and there's people there. There's protesters with signs chanting "Hands off Cuba." And so there's this one lady from Northern Virginia, and you can always tell who's from Northern Virginia because they got a mask on, right? Nobody here in D.C. puts a mask on. So they got a mask on, and you just know they came up from the metro, and they got a sign, "Hands off Cuba," and they're chanting "Hands off Cuba." And I look at the person, it's a mature, older lady, white lady, and I'm like, "Why are you here?" I don't think we hand you off Cuba. And I'm like, "Have you ever been to Cuba?" First of all, if you were in Cuba right now and you had the sign and you were protesting, you would be jailed and beaten, and nobody would ever hear from you again, including your family. That's number one. Number two, you'd be starving. Number three, you don't have a car. Number four, you don't have electricity. Number five, you're six people to a home. Number six, you don't have running water. You're an imbecile beyond my wildest dreams. Why do you want to have hands off Cuba? Why do you want a communist regime that is oppressing people that you say you care about, with oppressing them? No health care, nothing. And if you speak out against them, they put you in jail and beat you until you're dead. You never get out. What exactly are you protecting here? You just hate Trump? You hate Rubio? Like, is that what this is about? You'd rather suffer? I'm like, why don't you get on a plane and go to Havana and stay there for a year and then come back and tell me hands off Cuba? And you have to live like the Cubans, not with your visa in your nice hotel. No, live amongst the people for a year. First of all, you can't because you'll be dead. You can't even drink the water, you imbecilic, half-wit old lady from some gated community in Northern Virginia with two masks on. Like, get out of my face. That's what I said to them, almost word for word. Know what they said? You're a fascist. Right. I'm a fascist. Okay. Because I want people to be free, have clean water, a decent meal, and the ability to do what you're doing here, which they can't do there. Unbelievable. But this is what we deal with today. Like, I don't know, the imbecile ratio, the half-wit ratio has gone way up in this country. Like, do you have a brain in your head? Like, what is your IQ, like 50? Unbelievable. 888-480 John. When I come back, you got, you got so many good things going on, but I do want your calls. There hasn't been enough calls here. I just got a text here from Marcy. We'll see if we can read that in the segment. David Bossy coming up, so always good to get Dave on. We're looking forward to that. Let's see what McCarthy says. She says DHS shutdown has no clear off ramp. Marcy, there is a clear off ramp, Mars. The clear off ramp is get rid of the 60 vote filibuster. That's the off ramp. But no, can't do that. No, sirree, Bob. We can't give that up because when we're in the minority, even though they'll give it up, we'll have it for 90 minutes. We can get a lot done and we can block a lot of things in those 90 minutes. Oh, folks, you can't make this stuff up. If you're not having fun, I can't help you. Go to alexjones.com. Go to the clickbaiters if that's your thing. I can't help you there. You want truth and clarity. You want a community. You want to hear what's really going on. You keep it right here on the John Fredericks Media Network.